We're here in Montreal, Quebec, of course, home of the Le Bleu Blanc et Rouge and also the 2022 NHL Draft. Excuse my French, Tyler's. I'm pleased to be welcomed by Tyler Wright, Director of Amateur Scouting and Player Personnel for the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, a big week for you and your group. Can you just maybe take us through the season and what this kind of week means to you guys? I guess it's really your guys' Stanley Cup final now.
Yeah, it is exciting. Obviously, there's a lot of preparation that goes in, and we think you're prepared, and then all of a sudden you get to the draft floor and everything kind of goes out the window. Yeah. So, the uncertainty with this draft, but is a good thing. We're picking in the last row. That means that you've had success with the big club. We don't have a lot of picks, so we're trying to get a little creative maybe with that, but we still think we're going to get pretty good value, at pick 29, and we gotta improve. We got some good kids coming, and obviously our club up top had a good run this year, and we're trying to get better, and it starts here tomorrow.
All right, so the Oilers right now are currently slated to pick at number 29, as you mentioned, tomorrow in round one. Obviously, you're in the know, and we're on the outside, so share what you can, but a lot of speculation that pick might be in play in terms of either getting immediate help or maybe recouping some of the picks. Of course, the Oilers' next pick being in round 5. How does that kind of alter your draft strategy heading into Thursday?
I think you prepare for having every pick. You have to do that. At the end of the day, if Ken decides that we're going to move the pick, hey, that's to better our team right now. That's great. But we're also prepared to make the pick, but we're also prepared, obviously if you want to move back, we're prepared for it, but you have to have a willing partner to come up and make that deal. So lots of talk. There's a lot of uncertainty at this draft. It's probably a unique draft for the sense that nobody really knows who's going one. There's obviously some names going back and forth. I think if you had the liberty to go look at all 32 draft boards right now, I think 1 to 32, the drastic change between them. Are you going to get the best player at 1? Are you going to get the best player at 5? Maybe you can get 25. I don't know. We're hoping 29.
All right. So when you look at the organization as a whole, of course, coming off a very successful season, a trip in the Western Conference Final, does that change the draft philosophy a little bit? Maybe drafting somebody who might be able to kind of chip in the next couple of years as opposed to 4, 5, 6 years down the line, given the window?
Yeah, I think it's a fine line. And it's a cliche that you're going to get the best. You're trying to get the best player. Obviously, what we deem our philosophy on the way that we're drafting isn't the same as, say, a Boston Bruin or a Calgary Flame or whatever. The way that we want the Edmonton Oilers to look in, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, we want to play fast. Obviously, we want to be smart. We want to be skilled. We're going to push a guy up on that list that kind of hits those criteria. Obviously, as the draft unfolds at this time in their development in the industry, they think, there's deficiencies in those molds. So we think that we're going to get a good value. We got good pieces coming. We've seen the steps in guys like Ryan McLeod this year, guys like Evan Bouchard. Dylan Holloway went and played pro in Bakersfield, got a sniff at the in the conference final. Xavier Bourgault was our first pick last year. Had a long run with the Memorial Cup and is turning pro. Carter Savoy won the national championship, and now we've turned him pro. So we've had some guys take some steps, and we just got to continue that pool of players, and it starts tomorrow.
All right, when you look at the last 2 first-round picks, obviously you were a part of that with Xavier Bourgault last year and then Dylan Holloway. How do you kind of evaluate their progress so far in this organization and their eventual impact that they'll make in the next couple of seasons?
Yeah, I think we're excited and we're happy, obviously, with the development process. Obviously, with Dylan had the hand injury that kind of kept him away till, say, January, middle of January, beginning of February. Played 25 plus games or 30 games down in the American Hockey League, and we brought him up and got a taste of a playoff run and got into the final game. Didn't play a ton, but it's experience, and I think with these young guys, you got to make sure you're giving them every resource to be able to succeed, but you don't want to rush them at the same time. You want to make sure that they're comfortable. Some take a little bit longer than others, but at the end of the day, we're excited about their development process over the next couple of years, and and hopefully they can continue to develop.
All right, last question. When you look at the organizational makeup right now, when it goes down the pipeline, the age-old question, best player available or organizational makeup, how do you kind of balance that, especially given where you're heading into this draft?
Yeah, I think like I said earlier, it's a fine line. I think that, obviously you got some tremendous offensive talent with Connor and Leon, and, we're bringing in a guy like Zach Hyman and, Evander Kane coming in this year. But I think the exciting part is, the steps that Ryan McLeod has taken, the steps that Yamamoto and Puljujärvi took, the step that Evan Bouchard took this year, and the step that Broberg took this year. So it's just got to be a continual feel. Stu Skinner had a good year. We signed a college free agent, Ryan Fanti, and Rodrigue are down. So we think we've got some pretty good pieces. We just got to make sure we add. And it's through the middle, on the wings, defense, goalie. We're trying to take the best player that we think is going to be the best player in 3 to 4 years from now. But we're also looking at areas of need to better our hockey club.
I know I said that was the last question, but I lied. One more. How's the sleep?
None.
Hard at work. Tyler Wright, Director of Amateur Scouting and Player Personnel for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll see all of his work and his team's work unfold with round 1 beginning on Thursday here in Montreal.